There was a part in there where they said you have some pretty competitive moments with Russell in practice. June 2014, intercepted him. There's a quote in there that you said you effing suck. Number one, is that true? And two, is that crossing the line?
That's 100% true.
Okay.
And I've said worse. And I've said worse to Doug, and I've said worse to Curse, because iron sharpens iron as one man sharpens another. So, once again, snapshot. You come into practice of a team that's about to go to the Super Bowl, and you get a competitive moment, and you try to write a story around it. I'm sorry that our competition and the way we sharpen our iron isn't pretty and cordial. I'm sure if you went to see bad teams, they'll probably get along great. You know what I mean? They'll probably be slapping high fives and doing great. But then you go 4-12.
You know, Dylan, we can feel them because sometimes the way we talk to each other in the green room, it could get a little heated.
Oh, man.
Guys say some things about each other, but it's all in good fun. It's all in love. You know, we don't take it to heart. We're just trying to sharpen some iron.
That's right.
So
you threw some words at me I'd never even heard before. A collection of colorful language. Like, I was actually impressed. I really was. I was completely offended, but very impressed.
Let's continue on with this football story and Richard Sherman explaining his contentious relationship over the years with Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson, amid reports that Sherman and the rest of the defense still have trouble letting go of Wilson's game-ending interception in Super Bowl 49. Dylan, do you have faith that Coach Pete Carroll and the rest of this locker room can keep these tensions from boiling over when the season begins?
I do. This has been going on for like 5 years, you know, and especially ever since Richard Sherman really came into prominence as one of the league's best defensive backs. He's a cantankerous guy. He's a guy that, you know, he's never satisfied. He always seems on edge. From the moment he grabbed that microphone with Aaron Andrews and went on his tirade and kind of scared the pants off of all of America, mediocre! He's mediocre!
Talking about Michael Crabtree.
Yeah, talking about Michael Crabtree. Yep. We realized that what fuels that fire is venom. It is pure and total competitive fire. That's what works. That's the culture they have there. Mm-hmm. And it sort of balances with Pete Carroll's kind of like old man California cool, and Russell Wilson, who's sort of wholesome and is this great role model. And there's a lot of things in play. You can't have everyone on the same level. And I think the balance they have has worked. They've had a lot of team success. They've had some ups and downs. I'm sure it's tough getting over not winning that Super Bowl when you're on the 1-yard line and you have beast mode behind you and you don't score that touchdown, only to turn the football over. That is impossible to get over. You're never going to get over that. You're going to lay your head down on a pillow when you're 80 years old and still it's going to stick in your craw. That's just the way it goes. Yeah. You're at the highest level, the biggest stage, the brightest lights, and you screw up something that should have had you be back-to-back Super Bowl champs. It's got to be tough. So when you look at all that, I have the utmost of faith in this Seattle team with the leadership they have and the talent that they have, that they can figure it out. That's just the culture, and it's been going that way about a half decade now. They're up in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, this is a team full of veterans, you know, the ultimate professionals. When you look at Russell Wilson, I mean, that's a guy who's just going to go about his business regardless if Richard Sherman has beef or not. And then Pete Carroll is a player's coach. I mean, he's been there in college with USC. He's been with Seattle for a long time.
Been in the NFL for decades, going back to...
He knows how to deal with a ton of personalities, whether it's Richard Sherman, fiery, or different personality, Russell Wilson. I feel very confident this team will be able to put that behind them. And we'll continue to check out the Seahawks to see how they do. Training camp opening right around the corner.